Oh, that's right. We're right here at Shark Fawcett's Gallery. Beautiful afternoon out there, and I can't think of a better topic to be talking about than gorgeous pottery bowls and wooden bowls for empty bowls coming up on October 4th. Yes, it's the Soup Kitchen's annual event, and many thanks to the Medical Alliance and all the potters that put this together. We have Norm Fawcett here, we have Lynn Isehower, and Dohnna Boyajian. How y'all doing today?
Doing great.
Doing great? Well, that's good. But Norm, how are things happening at the Soup Kitchen?
Well, we're holding our own. Our numbers are not dropping. I've questioned myself.
That's kind of hard to believe with the unemployment going down a little bit.
Exactly, it's inching down. Our numbers went way up. Some of your listeners may recall that it was only 2 or 3 years ago that we were serving 23,000 meals, and the last 2 years we have served 40,000 meals. And I suspect our numbers are going to be even a little higher than that this year. And so our numbers went way up as the unemployment rate went up. They're not coming down as the official unemployment rate is inching down. And
of course, I think that's kind of a little misleading, because you have those people that have quit looking for jobs just because there are no jobs out there, and they actually drop off the rolls, don't they?
Yeah, if they're not getting benefits, nobody counts them, and so it's just an estimate. But the people in the know figure that the real unemployment rate is probably close to double the official rate, which maybe explains why our numbers aren't going down. It's hard to say, but they're definitely not. The need is not declining.
Absolutely. Now, on a daily basis, how many meals do you serve right there at the Soup Kitchen, right there on Phoenix?
Well, I can tell you the highest week we have had in our history. This is our 25th year,
right.
Continuous operation at the Soup Kitchen. And in the last week of August, we served over 1,000 meals in 1 week.
Wow.
That was over 200 a day.
Right.
So I'm not sure why the end of summer seems to be. The kids are back in school at that point. Again, sometimes you just can't figure it out. But
wow.
We served over 1,000 meals in 1 week. That was, like I say, over 200 a day. Our average number is about 150 to 160 now. When I started 10 years ago, the average number was 60 or 70.
Wow, unbelievable. Now, how do you prepare for that much soup and those sandwiches and that type of thing? How do you get prepared for that?
It's called volunteers. We have a cadre of over 185 volunteers that keep that place open on a weekly and monthly basis. And we have dedicated people that come in on a Monday, and a different group comes in on a Tuesday, and we have a coordinator, as we call them, that is kind of the leader, kind of decides what the menu is going to be, and
still would be hard.
Dishes out the work.
Dishes out the work.
Sort of quite a phrase.
Yeah, dishes out the work.
Sounds silly, but sometimes I just sound silly.
Well, that's hard to plan for, because you don't take reservations.
No, they don't. They don't make reservations. But we've gotten pretty good over the years. We religiously keep track of the number of people we serve every day, and you can watch the numbers go up towards the end of the month when the checks run out, and then drop a little bit at the first of the month. And we've gotten pretty good at deciding whether we're going to serve 125 people or we're going to serve 200 people.
You know, one of the things that I marvel about the Soup Kitchen is your ability to have donations come in from other businesses, like Miss Ann's Fried Chicken and some of the other things that come in. You really do a marvelous job of involving the community in helping feed all our people that need it.
Absolutely. It's certainly not just the canned foods that we get from the postal drives and the neighborhood drives and the drives in churches. It is that prepared food element that has grown over the years. I think more and more businesses are starting to understand. Many of them come and look at our facility, and they realize that they're not going to be at risk by giving us their food from a liability standpoint. Unfortunately, the lawyers drive a lot of business decisions nowadays, and they have to. But they come and look at our facility, they look at our Class A DHEC license, the Class A license that we've maintained uninterrupted for 25 years. And I think they understand that we know how to safely guard their food to make sure as we reserve it, that there's nothing going to come back and bite them. If you've got a minute, a great program that's just come up, I think since the last time we were on the radio, and I don't think it was Grand Harbor. A lot of lots were sold in Grand Harbor in the heyday of the real estate boom in 2006, 2007.
Oh, to only be back there again.
Yes, yeah. And those lots are still owned by people, but they live in California, Cleveland, Philadelphia, all around the country. They just haven't moved here or haven't built a home. And like many private clubs, there is a minimum that must be spent by every landholder, lot holder, at the club at Grand Harbor, and it's $250. Not a lot of money, but it's $250 every 6 months, $500 a year. And Bev Gebeke, one of those people that just look at things and look at it differently from everybody else. She saw all these absentee landowners writing these checks that they never got anything back. Never got anything back. And she said, heck, why don't we go to the kitchen and say for the $250 at $40 a pound for chicken tenders or mac and cheese or whatever, we'll cash in the amount. And the absentee landowners get a tax deduction because they're making a contribution to a 501c3 corporation called the Soup Kitchen. And we got, in the spring, we got over $5,000 value of prepared food, and we're just in the middle of our second program this year that's going to be close to $6,000 worth of food. So all you need is somebody like the Potters and like the Medical Alliance who have a good idea and are willing to do a little bit extra work. And Bev picks up this food, and every Friday she brings it into the Soup Kitchen, and our people on Saturday are eating like kings. They eat bread and queens.
Yeah, well, but you know, that's such a good idea, and you know, that's what you're talking about, making things work. Yeah. And it's a win-win situation. It's a win for the Soup Kitchen. It's a win for all those people that are now getting a tax deduction. Sure.
So wonderful, wonderful program that's brought $10,000 worth of food in the last year to the Soup Kitchen, prepared food. And we like prepared food because we don't have to cook it.
Now, on the Medical Alliance, though, that got involved, how many years, what year is this? The fourth one, is that correct?
The fourth.
Right.
Yes.
Now, if you look back 4 years ago, before you had things like the Grand Harbor and the Medical Alliance and some of the other things that happen out there to help you, how would you be making it come together, serving over 40,000 meals a year?
We wouldn't. I don't know what we would be doing, Ann, but we certainly wouldn't be serving the quality and quantity of food that we are today without empty bowls. Our annual cash budget is approaching $80,000. That was about $50,000 3 or 4 years ago.
And when you signed on for this job, you know, it was a whole lot less work, wasn't it?
But I don't want to talk about work when I'm looking at poor Dohnna Boyajian over there who's been turning out bowls for
slinging
the last
bowls.
But you know, last year we made over $22,000 at empty bowls. You do the math: 50,000 plus 22,000. There's no way we could have served the number of people we had with the donations that were coming in.
And not only that, the churches, their donations coming in are down because it's just the economy.
We've got wonderful, wonderful, generous community. We are not a United Way organization. We're not a United Way partner. Not because we don't want to be. It's just over the years we figured that why take money away from other agencies that need it if somehow we can hold the Soup Kitchen together. So we don't take United Way money. There are no government grants, municipal, county, state, or federal. And it's all the good, generous people in Greenwood who are supporting it. Businesses, foundations, individuals, service groups, churches. But those people are hurting in the economy, and without empty bowls, I can't answer your question because it just doesn't compute to me how we could be serving the number of meals we have without empty bowls.
But it does just show you what motivated people can do without government intervention to do something on their own. And I think that is a statement unto itself, that in today's world we don't actually have to have government, we don't have to have these other agencies that are outside coming in. So kudos to the Soup Kitchen for doing that.
Thank you. It's because of people like the Potters and the Alliance and the good, generous people in the churches and, as I say, businesses and service groups and the volunteers, the 185 volunteers, that we are a 100% volunteer organization. There are no salaries paid anywhere at the Soup Kitchen, and so every penny that comes in goes to pay for the food that people eat.
Absolutely. Well, we are here with Norm Fawcett. We are here with Lynn Isehower. We are here with Dohnna Boyajian. They've been quiet, but they're going to get their turn in just a second to talk all about the things for empty bowls. Don't you go away. We're going to hear a quick word from our sponsors, and we'll be right back. Got a question or a comment? Give us a call, 229-7984. That's 229-7984. We'll be right back. That's right. We're right back here at Sharp Fawcett's Gallery this afternoon. We are talking about empty bowls coming up on Thursday, October the 4th. That'll be at the Greenwood Soup Kitchen. And, of course, we have our Greenwood area studio potters. We have the woodmakers here, and we have the Greenwood County Medical Alliance putting this all together. But first off, before we go much further, we need to talk about, are there any tickets available for this event? I mean, or have you sold them out already?
Well, I am holding in my hand, I feel like Johnny Carson here. I am holding in my hand.
Now put it up to your forehead there.
The last 5 tickets. We have 450 tickets for sale, 400 sit down, 50 takeout, and I have in my hand the last 5 tickets for 5 o'clock. So we are definitely going to sell out. My phone is still ringing, but we do have 5 tickets for 5 o'clock left.
Well, what about the takeout? Do you have any more takeout?
They're gone. Everything else is gone.
Oh my God, well, I thought I would get 2 tickets here now.
Well,
okay,
we have 5.
Okay, well then there you go. There's now 3 available, folks. Hey, I'm Ann Eller. I'm here with the one and only Norm Fawcett from the Soup Kitchen. I'm here with Lynn Isehower and Dohnna Boyajian. Lynn, tell us a little bit about how the Medical Alliance put this together and how you've been able to pump this up even more than what it was when you first started.
Well, the Medical Alliance, as you know, is just a group of women and a few men, mostly women, who are married to physicians or who are physicians, who are willing to roll up their sleeves to help a community in need. And in this case, it's through the Soup Kitchen. Our members are more than willing to make food, whether it's the soups or the breads or the desserts, and more than willing to come out and help that night. It's fun for them. They get to see their good deeds in action. They don't want to publicize themselves as an individual, but something that the group can do. So the minute we mention it's time for empty bowls, we basically have 600 desserts, and somebody's doing bread, and somebody else is, I'll ask for the soup that we need. Some of our members do the soup. Most of it, though, this year's coming from Lander University and the Greenwood Country Club.
And
so
it's good soup.
Done.
It's good soup.
Good quality
that's
soup.
right.
It's
Yeah.
very good. And then others are coordinating volunteers, because people just in our organization say, well, I can do that part, I can do this little part. And when you have people willing to do that, it's pretty easy to serve 450 people in one night.
Absolutely. But you added another component to it that you didn't have the first year, and how was that you were able to make it grow and produce more dollars?
That's through adding sponsorships. The first year, our goal was simply to have this event go off and not be utter chaos and raise a little money, right, Norm?
That's right.
We all crossed our fingers that there wouldn't be a line a mile long out the door, that we wouldn't run out of soup, that everything we were thinking of horrible could go wrong, and it went absolutely smoothly.
Controlled chaos.
Controlled chaos, absolutely.
Sure. But we realized, or I realized, I don't know who else, it was a small group of us at that time, that if we were going to truly grow the amount of money, it would need to be through sponsorships, and that would also get the word out to a broader base in the community and make them aware of the soup kitchen and what it does. So I set out and asked a few people I knew if they would sponsor, and said, we'll get shirts and we'll put your name on the back of the shirt. And that was as simple as it was that first year. I think we probably had about 6. We make about $2,000 on sponsorship.
That's right.
Something like that. So the next year, which was
And
last
totally
year,
the first year we can watch the numbers grow. The first year it was $6,000 was raised in total.
and the second year was around 11.
11,500 the second year.
And so last year I said we could get these sponsorships a little bigger, perhaps if we actually think through some different levels. We have different ladles, I guess I should say, platinum, gold, silver, and that the people who sponsored at that level got tickets to the event and the shirt and advertising. And so we actually reworked it all last year, and we're able to raise
22,500.
correct. And this year, a few other the people, the Potters, some of the Medical Alliance people, besides just myself and Norm, were asking for sponsorships. And of course, people now, the ones who had donated in the past or been sponsors, were familiar with it. So when we called them up, they're like, "Sure, I want to do it again at this level or a higher level." And we're hoping to exceed 22 total this year. I think we will.
22. That's still
We had
that's
39.
tremendous.
We
to
had
be
39
going.
sponsors this year, as opposed to about 6 the first year. So if you didn't get in on the sponsorship game this year, call us for next year. Put the bowls in your budget.
It's
Absolutely.
a good way to guarantee you get tickets.
That's the problem. You got too many sponsors. Why, you only have 5 tickets left. Oops, I mean 3 tickets left. That's terrific. You know, when you added the takeout aspect of the empty bowls, that made a big difference, because part of the problem with the soup kitchen is you can only seat so many people per seating, correct?
There is only 100 seats, but again, that was one of Lynn's ideas and the Medical Alliance's ideas, and of course supported by the Potters, because they have to make more bowls. But the takeout tickets, yes,
That made a difference right
absolutely.
there, yeah.
And quite honestly, you know, as nice as our soup kitchen is, Ann, you've been there.
Yes, I have several times.
The drawing part of this is the bowls. It's not soup at the soup kitchen. And
I think
people,
it's a sense of community. I think it's being able to pick out your own bowl. That's the other thing. They don't just hand you a bowl. You can spend as much time as you want. You also make a great effort to make sure that all the good bowls don't go out first, so that everybody has opportunity to have a selection of really nice bowls.
They are
So
staggered,
All the
yes.
bowls are great now. I
Yeah,
don't know
but
whether this really good. They're all fantastic.
well, there are some that are more fantastic. If people sit there at the table and talk about the great bowl that they got, and you're looking at your beautiful bowl that you picked out, and you were real happy till you saw that bowl over there. But they all are great. But yeah, I mean, I think that makes it neat that you don't allow, or one Potter's bowls just to go out, shall we
That's
say,
correct.
that they're all scattered. So I think that's pretty neat. So there are a lot of good things that they do, and the very fact that people actually get to see what the soup kitchen is like. You know, if you've never been to a soup kitchen, you may have an idea of it being dingy and not very nice and everything. But boy, you guys go all out at the soup kitchen to make your clients feel welcome and appreciated.
We're pretty proud of what we do there, and for the last 25 years, we've always had a perspective that just because someone isn't well off, they still deserve to be treated with the dignity and respect of any other human being. And we try to do that at the soup kitchen. We could have had long, rectangular tables, and we decided we were going to put round tables in, a simple thing. But if you come to the soup kitchen, you'll see the difference that it makes in the camaraderie and how we can treat people with the dignity that they deserve.
Absolutely. Well, you know what? It's almost time for South Carolina News. When we come back, we've saved the best till last, because we're going to be talking to Dohnna Boyajian about all the bowls, all the woodworking, all the things that go into doing this. You know, Dohnna, you said you did pottery years ago, and you've just been able to get back into it. I don't think you expected to get back into it in such a big way, though, have you?
No. There's been no way did I think that I would be into it this much.
Absolutely.
But it's all fun.
Absolutely. So when we come back, we'll talk about their studio over there at Wyatt Farms. We'll talk about a lot of different aspects. Don't you go away. We're going to hear South Carolina news, a word from our sponsors. We'll be right back.
Are you a pirate or a pack rat? Do you have a vacation of a lifetime sitting in the attic? Or a college tuition hung on a wall? Or is a fabulous retirement hidden in your jewelry box? Bring those items to Sharp Fawcett's gallery. We can establish value and buy from you or sell for you. And so ends another chapter at Sharp Fawcett's gallery. 72 Bypass and on the web, sharpfacets.com.
All right, we're back here, Sharp Fawcett's gallery. We're going to be talking a little pottery now because coming up on October 4th, although they've already sold all the tickets except for 3, so we don't have to worry about selling any tickets. However, if you would like to make a donation to this, I guess, Norm, they could make a donation, couldn't they?
Well,
Somebody
we might
said,
make some exceptions and, accept donations.
You would accept a donation at this point. Somebody maybe that, just didn't get those tickets, but they want to help out, you certainly can make a donation. So that'll be a good thing. It's the 4th annual Empty Bowls Dinner. It's coming up this, not this Thursday, but Thursday, October 4th at the Greenwood Soup Kitchen, which is in the United Center for Community Care right there on Phoenix. So Dohnna Boyajian, she has been an artist, an art educator, an interior designer, and she has been, you may have seen her down there at Meridian Gallery, the former owner of Hand Studio right there, and she just keeps on trucking. She keeps on trucking all the time. Back in the day, she said she did some pottery, and then she decided she wanted to get back into it. She moved here in 2001. And she's never stopped. So how you doing today, Dohnna Boyajian?
I'm doing great, and I came right from the studio where I was glazing empty bowls to put in the kiln. So we've got a kiln loaded and started of some of the 450 empty bowls that we're making for the soup kitchen event.
Now, where is your kiln?
There is a group of 5 potters that had attended the Piedmont Tech Pottery Program in Edgefield. We got tired of making that commute, and so last November we opened up a studio in a new building at Wyatt Farms.
That's cool.
So we have half the building for our pottery studio, and Roger Stevenson has the other half for his painting studio.
Wow. So you've decided to go into pottery kind of in a big way. I understand you're doing a kind of unique style of your own pottery that you're actually getting in some galleries and everything. Why don't you just tell us a little bit about that, Dohnna?
Well, when you're a potter and you want to take it to the next level instead of just doing pretty pieces for all your friends, you develop a style. And so when people see your piece, they know it's your piece. And so my style is working in white porcelain clay and using a black slip or underglaze, and then I do carving into I carve designs, I carve drawings, and it kind of looks like a linoleum block print.
Oh, cool.
But it's clay.
How about that?
Mm-hmm.
So that's, and so you've got that in a couple of galleries and looking at getting it into some more galleries going into the holiday season, and I understand you're very popular right now with some of the shows around too.
Well, yeah, I've had invites on some of the holiday shows to sell my work, show and sell my work. So, we'll see. I did this because I want to do it for fun, and so now I'm at a little point that I need to talk to some potters that are doing this for a profession to find out how they keep it fun and not so much work.
Yeah.
That's the next step.
That is the next step. Of course, you are going into the holiday season, and when you go into the holiday season, I don't think it's ever fun for those doing the work. Mm-hmm. But right now, of course, you are heading up, putting all these bowls together for the empty bowls. Now, how many potters are contributing?
There's about between 25 and 30 potters that are contributing the bowls. Now, we ask each potter to do 10 bowls as an average. Some potters have done 7, and some potters have done 20 or 25.
Wow.
And Phyllis Collins is actually the one that is coordinating, getting all the bowls together and dividing them up into the 3 seatings, so that at each seating you have like
An
quality,
assortment,
an assortment and quality of bowls. So you don't have to come to the 5 o'clock, because at 7 all the good bowls are going to be gone.
Right.
So that's kind of how we've done that.
But now that's quite a commitment from a potter, isn't it? Even if it's 7 to 10 bowls. The bowls are not inexpensive. The clay, the glaze, and even if you say the time isn't worth it, what about just the cost in making a bowl?
I couldn't even begin to figure out what the cost in making the bowls would be, but I can tell you that the average bowl that's made would probably sell for $25 in a retail space. And, we've kept the empty bowls at $20. And
For a ticket to have
for the
soup and
ticket,
everything,
and you
yeah.
have the soup, and you have entertainment, and you go on with a handmade bowl. So it's a good deal.
Absolutely, it's a good deal. So you've been doing this for, how long have you been into pottery again?
6 years.
6 years. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, that sounds good. So you've got all these bowls. Any fear that you won't have them all made?
I'm laughing because we have fear every day.
No, there is no fear that they won't have them all made.
We do have the bowls accounted for, but you always worry that when the last count goes, when you're counting the last time, you're going to be short. Well, the way we have figured that out, a lot of us have handmade bowls in our cabinets. And so we've already agreed, if we are short on bowls, we will all just raid our kitchen cabinets and
Bring
make
some extra bowls.
absolutely make the number. But one of the things, in addition to the pottery bowls, we have the Woodworkers Guild, the Council of Lakeland Area's Woodworkers. They're called CLAW.
Right.
And I don't know whether you know, our Potters Guild is called GASP, Greenwood Area Studio Potters. So CLAW has stepped up. And last year they contributed about 75 bowls. This year they're contributing 150 wood turned on a lathe bowls.
Double the amount.
Double the amount, as well as the Potters Guild. We asked them if they would make shelving for our bowl room at the Empty Bowls event, and so they have made us 3 sets of shelving so that we don't have to borrow from everybody in a 2 or 3 county area to make that. And that shelving will just stay at the United Center.
How about that?
So we're
and
real
I'll bet
proud
it's
of
nice.
that.
I'll bet it's nice.
Mhm.
It's not. I think I've seen shelving kind of put together to make it work. Now you guys are really stepping it up here, Norm. I tell you what, it just keeps stepping up every year.
Yeah, I don't know how we outdo ourselves next year. You notice how I kind of snuck that next year
right,
in?
yeah. Well, it'll be the 5th. I mean, you couldn't stop at 4. You'd have to go to 5, right, Lynn?
We're all in.
all done. Okay. All right, but Dohnna, tell us now, how does that work? Can you actually put soup in wooden bowls?
No, you cannot put soup in wooden bowls, but as part of the evening, the Medical Alliance, in setting up things with the soup and all, they provide styrofoam bowls, because we also found a couple of years ago that some people wanted to choose a small ceramic bowl, but they wanted more soup.
But they wanted a big bowl of
Exactly.
soup.
And so we do have styrofoam bowls available for people, but the wooden bowls would be great for nuts and salad and candies and things like that. So last year we had no problem people picking the wooden bowls as well as the ceramic bowls.
One of the things we need to add that is really a unique, I think, part of this is, as you're sitting at the table, and once you get your soup and sit down, you are served. I mean, they will come bring you cornbread or muffins, rolls, and bread, and tea. But after you finish, they take the bowl and they wash it for you. I think that is so nice, and bring it back. Of course, some of the people at the table I sat at were really worried that they'd get that same bowl back. But it always worked out that way, so
Well,
I
that's
think
a-
that's really neat.
That's another element of the volunteers that the Medical Alliance put together, and it's not just their members. It's Emerald Interact Club. We have a number of dozen or more students coming from Lander to help out that night. So
And
they're
aren't
the
you
ones
making
that are
some
going to be
bowls?
doing.
Isn't there some high school students making some
Yeah,
bowls?
the Emerald, there's a few of the Emerald art classes that have made bowls. Laura Baczynski took that on this year, and so she worked with the art teachers and the students of Emerald. And we will have between 50 and 75 bowls from the high school students. Last year, I think we had 25 or 30 high school student bowls, and they were picked over very fast. So, you know, there is a bowl for everybody.
A bowl for
It
everybody.
really is becoming a community event, which
Absolutely.
makes us all feel good.
You know, and the neat thing is you bring that bowl home and then you've got one at home and you know where it came from. You may know who the potter is. And when you pull it out to use it, you're always thinking about, oh, that came from empty bowls. I think that's really, really neat.
One of the things that is happening, Anne, about the empty bowls is people that have come in the past and have gotten bowls, they either like those bowls because they're blue or because of the shape, and so they come back the next year expecting and hoping that they can find more of the same.
Bowls.
And we don't really do it that way, but what we are trying to do this year is to do some that are, say, sets. So there might be, you might come into the bowl room and you might see 2 that are similar,
Right.
or 4 that are similar. And so we're trying to accommodate people's need to have matching sets of bowls.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Hey, we are right here at Sharp Fawcett's Gallery. We're going to hear a quick word from our sponsors. When we come back, we'll finish up. If you've got a question or a comment, don't hesitate to give us a call. 229-7984. That's 229-7984. They only have 3 tickets left because I just got 2. All right, we'll be right back. Don't you go away. Just having a real interesting conversation here off the air, and this is something that I think anybody sitting out there, if you've ever been involved in an organization, you know what we're talking about. You always need new blood coming into an organization. I know, Lynn, with the Medical Alliance, you said you had around 40-some members, and yet there's over 200 doctors and
That's
families.
correct.
Yeah.
That's correct. Right now, we currently have about 40 active members. Probably about 5 years ago, we peaked at about 85 or so. And to be a member, you simply are either a physician or are married to one. Or, you know, well, we don't check the marriage license, actually. But that it's just a group
You're
of
hooked up
like-minded.
with one.
And you don't have to have had previous experience in the event to join. We do lots of things like this, and just having more bodies, maybe we get a better idea for how to do this better next year.
Sure.
That's really what we're looking for.
Well, I think in any organization, even somebody that has volunteered, whether it's at the soup kitchen, you know, you'd like to maybe be able to try a different organization and be able to expand, because isn't the joy of volunteering just to be able to help people and maybe get some experience to yourself? Don't you think, Norm, that that's one of the things that's great about volunteering?
Well, what we also try to do, Ann, is bring younger people in, the high school students, the Lander students, because two things happen. One, they go home. We actually have some fun at the soup kitchen, and they go home learning the very valuable lesson that you can actually have fun and do good at the same time, because you do feel good as you go home. The parents of these kids that come in, the teenagers, also tell us that they go home a little bit different, a little more appreciative of what they have, and the parents thank us for that.
Sure.
So, you know, there's a lot of good things that come out of volunteering. You just got to be willing to get up in the morning and
Roll
do
up
it
your
rather
sleeves,
than
yeah.
sit there and watch Fox News and drink your coffee. You just got to get up.
Get
and
depressed. Absolutely, that's right. And you know, I know whether you're making pottery or in the arts, you always could use more people, as whether it's part of claw or part of gasp.
Yes, we always could use more people, because the same thing that Lynn was talking about is that we have a core group in the Potter's Guild that is always the one that's following through, especially on empty bowls and then other community things that we do. And we need to expand our group also, and bringing new members, bringing new ideas, and
Passing the torch.
Exactly, and I love working on empty bowls, but I also want to do some stuff on with the Humane Society, and with the museum, and with the Arts Council. So it just never stops.
Sure.
And it's fun and exciting, and that's what we're here for, is to contribute.
And I think another good thing about it is you meet new people. I mean, the people that you meet, you get to expand your horizons. You get to, I think it's wonderful that, Norm, you actually retired here, correct, to this
That's
area?
right.
And look at you. Here you are running the soup kitchen down there. But there'll come a day, maybe, where you'd like to step back a little bit.
We have only been, Roxy and I have only been in Greenwood for about 11, 12 years now, but we have more friends than we deserve to have, and much of it has to do with because of the people we've met through our volunteer efforts at the church or at the soup kitchen or at Wesley Commons or whatever.
It's allowed you to become part of the community a lot easier.
You generally meet nice people if you're hanging around with volunteers,
Yeah, absolutely.
Not a
That's
lot of
right.
grumbling goes on.
Not a lot of grumbling. Well, we've been here talking about empty bowls here today. Of course, we want to send out a few kudos. We haven't talked about you even provide entertainment at this event. Norm, you want to tell us who's doing the entertainment?
I have not met Bonnie Barton, but Ken Kittle. Ken Kittle is the keyboardist for Hack Bartley's band, and plus he's a keyboardist that plays many venues himself. And he used to sing with a young lady by the name of Bonnie Barton, where he was up in Detroit, and coincidence took over, and she moved into the area, and so now Ken and Bonnie are playing and singing together, and so they are going to be playing keyboard and singing beautiful songs in the background. So yes, we even have entertainment.
Even have entertainment. One of the things we were talking about too is how you can help out, like the tickets being printed or the posters that you've done. Everything that you've been able to put together, Lynn, you have what we say, beg, borrow, talk to, in twisted their arms.
I didn't beg, I simply asked, and they said yes.
Well, that's good then.
And we've built relationships over the last 4 years. Self Regional has been very gracious with their marketing department's skills to help us design the flyers and the tickets, and then to arrange for them to be printed at no cost to us. That has been tremendous, and the design of this year's flyers is very similar to last year's, but Andy Johnson did that for us last year. He was with Self Regional, and they're gorgeous. They're attractive.
And then, of course, there's the T-shirts too, right?
And the shirts. Some of that design idea came through their department also, with the redesign of the little logo, with the empty bowl logo. And Emerald Ink and Stitches has been so gracious with printing the shirts for the last 4 years. And this year they stepped up when our shirt sponsor fell through, and they're providing the shirts. We are so grateful to the group over there.
Steve Riley is one of those friends.
One of the angels of the soup kitchen.
Yeah. That you would only have met if we had been part of the soup kitchen. And Steve Riley and the work he does over at Emerald Ink and Stitches for the community is outstanding.
Absolutely. So, when you look at what you've put together here, you're poised to have another super event that will certainly help the soup kitchen survive another year. I mean, the dollars that are raised on this, they go very far. And speaking of how far the dollars go, you guys are so frugal when you do have to buy things, too.
Well, we don't waste any money. We talked about, tongue-in-cheek, that they don't make reservations. Our guests don't make reservations. And so we never really know whether we're going to serve 120 people or 150 people. Or at the end of August, we served over 1,000 people in 1 week. We don't know what that's going to be, but it doesn't matter, because all the soup is homemade. It's made fresh every day.
Some of the best soup in Greenwood now, let me tell you. Yes.
We know through being trained by DHEC what the principles of safe food handling is. That food is cooled down properly, it goes into the cooler, and it's served the next day. Any donations that we get that we can't use, cereal, we don't serve breakfast, coffee, goes over to the food bank. The food bank gets these big number 10 tins of vegetables that are too big to pass out to a family. That comes to the soup kitchen. So there's a lot of collaboration going on over at the United Center now that we're all under one roof. And that means nothing gets wasted, either time, effort, energy, or money.
Absolutely. Well, it certainly has been a joy to have you here. We do need to mention one more thing. I think you're going to have a raffle, aren't you, going on? Dohnna, what can you tell us about that?
Well, at each seating, there will be a raffle of a handmade item. Two of them would be from ceramic artists, and two of them will be from wood artists this year. So, but we usually bring in about another $2,000 or $3,000 on our raffle in the evening. So we're looking to bring that top number in.
Absolutely. Well, Dohnna Boyajian, Lynn Isehower, Norm Fawcett, it's been such a pleasure to sit down and talk about empty bowls. Certainly hope everybody that's already got their ticket that you better be there and have a good time. If you didn't, make sure you put this on your list for next year. This is WCRS right here in Greenwood. Thank you all for coming out and telling us about it here today.
Thank you, Ann.
Thank you, Ann.
You're welcome. We enjoyed it.
All right, that'll do it for us. This is WCRS right here in Greenwood. Bye-bye, everybody.